As we start 2025, I thought it might be appropriate to do a rig walk around. Now that the Jeep is finished with, I think, the 5th iteration or version of it, and is completely set up for winter camping in Alaska down to -30. We'll touch on lighting, storage, power systems, how I stay warm, sleeping systems, and then also how we take care of Odin, since this is dog in a Jeep and Odin comes first. So, come on, let's go.
More nachos. All the nachos.
So when you're talking winter camping, you could obviously describe winter camping as kind of a type 2 activity where you're not having fun during it, but you look back and it's like, oh man, that's amazing. I gotta take my glasses off because they're fogging up. But I like to look at winter camping as fun while doing it and fun after the fact. And part of that comes down to what your sleep system is. And so I'm running kind of a unique sleep system for the GFC. What I found is that if I run 2 of these Hest mattresses, like I do in the summer months, you end up getting frost along the kind of bed rail. And so during the winter, I go from 2 Hest mattresses down to just 1, and I actually run it dead smack in the middle with a gap on either side to the bottom. And then on top of the Hest mattress, it's funny, this is my 32-year-old LL Bean sleeping bag that I've had since I was a little kid. And it's flannel lined, which I really like when I think of winter and winter camping, or even just sleeping in general. I really like the flannel feeling on my skin because I'm sleeping in a t-shirt and shorts because of both the diesel heater, but also what's on top. And so this is a summer sleeping bag. It's about a 40-degree sleeping bag, so it's not terribly warm. But when you run the Aeronaut Hoverquilt on top of it, I can be comfortable down to about 10 degrees, 0 degrees. And if it goes below 0 degrees, I then take the Hoverquilt, stuff it inside of this sleeping bag, and I'm toasty down to -20. It actually gets a little too warm at times, so by keeping the 40-degree sleeping bag as kind of that starter layer and then doing a Hoverquilt either on top or inside, I'm able to stay super warm all night. And then for pillow, I've tried a couple different pillows. And the Hest camp pillow is my favorite. I run their full-size pillow in the summer months, but in the winter it just gets too cold because of how massive it is, and the camp pillow fits perfectly within the sleeping bag. So this is the railing that I'm talking about. This right here, because it's aluminum, all the way in the back just gets absolutely covered in frost, especially when you go up top. So by leaving a gap here and a gap here, it allows the heat from the diesel heater to kind of rise up into the bed. And the diesel heater helps keep this warm, if you will, but it's more to keep the condensation from forming. And then the Hoverquilt, the mattress from Hest, and then my LL Bean sleeping bag are what actually keep me warm. The heater for the tent portion is just to cut down on condensation. And so then if we come down into the sleeping area of the cab, if you will, Odin also has a Hest mattress. It's their large dog bed. I've got a layer of Reflectix and then carpet on the truck bed to cut down on some of the cold seep, but it still does get cold, and so I gave him the Hest memory foam mattress so he stays nice and warm. And then he's got his food and water, and then that's actually the Cleanwaste toilet, and so I use the Cleanwaste toilet as a seat. The Cleanwaste toilet is the perfect size seat to fit in the back with Odin's mattress, and it allows for some storage underneath and for him to tuck his head down if he wants to. But it works out really, really well. And then coming over to the side, this is the gear tunnel. It runs all the way to the back, and this is where I store my camp table, my Devos Light Ranger lights, my chair, axe, shovel, fire poker. This has been super helpful to keep all of the gear that I may not need every time I camp super organized. And then I have Milwaukee Packout plate on the top right here where I store either the toiletry stuff or the dog food or my food. And then you have the diesel heater mounted in the back. So that's a Vevor diesel heater in a Keegan Builds Apache case build that is then, instead of using like the 5 or 10 liter cans that it comes with, because I like to cold camp often, I then have it coming for fuel out of a 5-gallon Wavy and jerry can. And that allows me to run the heater non-stop for an entire weekend without having to refuel. And if I want to just stay in one place, that'll let me run it on high for 72 hours without issue. And then that back shelf right there just holds my laptop bag or my clothes bag. But with the heat, it also allows me to store drinks down here. And so the drinks no longer freeze. And so the diesel heater is heating the bottom area and then it rises to the top because I'm sleeping kind of in the middle there. And so with the diesel heater, because it's mostly hard mounted, what we end up having is this exhaust hose running out this hole. I had it originally as an exhaust duct that I would then plumb another hose into, but I found that it eliminated my ability to raise and lower this panel. So we cut a larger hole in it that during the summer months will allow for some fresh air to come in, but all I have to do is take the exhaust hose with the muffler on it, plumb it in directly to the heater that's mounted and then strapped down. And then when I'm ready to go, all I do is take the exhaust out and strap it down and close this portal, close this, put the cap on, and we're good to go. And the reasoning for the door on the inside is just in case someone gets sticky fingers and wants to say, "Ooh, what's in here?" and want to reach their hand in, that door keeps them from having easy access to whatever's inside. Now, if you're looking for something like this, there are aluminum ones on Etsy that run about $100. Those are obviously the best ones you can buy. My buddy Hunter Pauly and Blake both run the aluminum one as they're running Laveniers and they're on a higher end heater. My heater is about $85 from Home Depot. It came in parts and I built the case myself. And when I was building it, I stole this idea from the folks at BFGoodrich who gave me the Milwaukee Packout heater, or sold me the Milwaukee Packout heater that I used on my drive back up to Alaska in November. And this is just an RV sewer quick disconnect. These are made by a company called Valterra. I can put a link to the Amazon shopping cart in the description, but they work really well. They allow you to have a cover to close it on and off, and I run a similar plate on the actual diesel heater itself so that I can do hose connect if I want to route it somewhere else, or I just put the channel vent where you twist it and it changes the direction of the air. And so that's been a nice addition. Shout out, I think, Nate from BFGoodrich for this one. And so let's talk connectivity. I have a Wii Boost that is currently broken. I slid on some ice and the antenna shattered off, so the Wii Boost doesn't work right now, but we do have Starlink Mini. It is not hard mounted, but Josh at Total Truck, freaking wizard and a genius, gave me a quick connect plug within my shore power and battery charging system. So all I have to do is take this cable, plug it in, and boom, now we've got Starlink. It's been probably my favorite addition we've made to the truck so far. And on top of Starlink and WeBoost, I also carry a Garmin InReach in the cab. Now obviously my account name is called Dog in a Jeep, my Instagram, my YouTube, which first things first, this truck was built for this guy. So Odin has his own platform in the back of the truck where we've got that Hest mattress again. So we take this from the back seat, put it in the truck bed back and forth. It allows us to keep him comfortable both in driving and in the truck bed. And then he's got a full platform that takes up 60% seat delete. We originally had the Goose Gear 60% seat delete. It wasn't high enough. And so did a custom build. We've got a pull-out drawer underneath for storage. Right now it holds a breaker bar, some of the jerry can nozzles, some bar and chain oil, and then we've also got an access panel in the back where I keep some wrenches and a Milwaukee chainsaw. But this allows him to relax, sleep, hang out in the back seat and have his own space without having the unevenness of a seat. And then looking across, we've got a power panel with a cigarette lighter and then a bunch of USB outlets. On the other side of that is essentially the brains or the power plant for this entire build. And to go over the power plant, when we're going to kick it to Josh at Total Truck, and Josh is going to walk us through kind of the wiring and how we head everything up.
So we're basically running the Redarc Manager 30 for the charging portion of everything, and that's powering the Expion battery, and that's what, 240 amp Expion. That powers the Redarc TVMS platform, which basically runs all your accessory outlets that we have in the bed, in the cab. Because we added too much stuff, we went ahead and added the Rogue system from Redarc, and that is a 10 amp output over 10 systems with an additional 10 digital inputs, so we could basically rewire the entire Jeep if we wanted to. Both of these rigs are running a 1500 watt Redarc converter, which we've set up to be able to run the block heater setup off of. There's also shore power on both of these so that we can plug the Manager 30s in to the wall to recharge. But the main thing is just having the availability to swap from that wall outlet to the inverter for the heaters.
Yep.
And being able to turn it on.
I was concerned of, okay, it's -30, I've got to get up 2 hours before I'm ready to go, get out of the car, plug in a generator or whatever. Yeah. And you then wired it to literally just be open my phone, hit a button, go back to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
With all of the lights I have in the WeBoost and the radio and Starlink and all of the connections, can I still add more stuff?
Oh yeah.
So we have future-proofed it to where I can add more lights and more power.
Yeah, I think we have an additional 5 off the Rogue system that we can pull 10 amp off of. And with that, we can run a relay setup if we want to run things that are pulling more than the 10 amps.
And then adding extra batteries is easy?
Yep, extra batteries with the Expion system, they just stack. So as long as you have vertical room, which we've accounted for, we can add as many batteries as we really want.
So as Josh was going through all the wiring, it takes a serious amount of power. And it takes a battery that can withstand -30-degree temperatures when we want to go camping. And so that's where Expion 360 comes in. I did pay for the battery, but full disclosure, they also gave me a sizable discount on it. And this is their Edge V2 240 amp hour flat battery that allows you to stack extra batteries on top. So we have enough room in here that I could stack 3 of these if I really wanted to. The plan right now is to run 240 amp hours this summer and then look to add a second one next summer, so we end up with 500 amp hours. And all of that power is going to allow us to stay in one location running the diesel heater and still be able to heat the engine so we can start it over a 3-day base camp period. And the entire reason for all of this power and the heating capabilities and the inverter setup that Josh walked through is because I have a brand new engine in this Gladiator that's only got 30,000 miles on it, because last January, when I went camping with Josh as he was testing out this exact system in Kodiak, the Alaska Overland or Tundra build, my engine froze. And I mean quite literally froze. The timing gear, or the timing chain, froze, and when the timing gear went to turn, it snapped all of the teeth off and obliterated the engine. Thankfully it was covered by warranty, but after that and the new engine, I set to work with Craig from Total Truck and Josh to figure out a system that would work with the Gladiator, given the limited space I have. And after meeting the folks at XBeyond 360 down at Overland Expo PNW and creating a great relationship with them, I was like, you know what, this is the exact battery I need. And so comfort for Odin is primary and paramount, but that also means I have reduced storage capabilities. I don't currently have a front passenger seat, as I was fixing my parking brake, which saved me a couple $100 by doing it myself. But the plan is to, in the future, get a passenger seat base plate and then build another cabinet similar to this in the passenger seat that I can quickly remove should I ever have a passenger, aka my mom, when she comes on our long road trips, so I can put the passenger seat back in. But when I do that, my storage space just drops tremendously. So on top of the power system and battery plate, we built a heavy-duty shelf that holds a couple Milwaukee Packout boxes, but in the back also holds our air compressor, our air hub from Morphlate, and our 4-tire air-up, air-down system for Morphlate. And this keeps all of this secure and out of the truck bed, which is important because this is the Starlink box, this is my electronics and cable box, and then this is camp box or other items that I can swap in and out. But by having this here, it's not sliding around in the back, and I have quick, easy access as soon as I get to camp. So in the summer, this will likely change out to the drawer system again so that I can use the thermocells and mosquito repellent stuff, so as soon as I get to camp, it's ready to go. Continuing on the theme of storage, one of the downsides to having the GFC, if you can call it a downside, is that it eliminates the rear half of the hardtop. And so in doing so, I wasn't able to run a roof rack up until 6 months ago. At Overland Expo PNW, Sherpa Equipment Company showcasing their Moonlight rack, which was built specifically for running on a Jeep Gladiator with a GFC, thanks to the story till now. And so when I saw it in his Jeep, I immediately knew I needed it. Wasn't sure what I was going to put up there, but when I got to Sherpa Equipment Company in Denver, Colorado, over my 8-week road trip and installed it, they also had this center case, which is a Rome hard case. It originally came on wheels. I took the wheels and the extendable arm off, but that now mounts perfectly in the center. On the passenger side, that is a Rome 55-liter case, and that holds all of my recovery gear. It holds my kinetic rope, my tow straps, my soft shackles, everything I need to pull someone out. And it's on the passenger side, so that if I'm driving around Fairbanks in the winter and someone gets stuck, I can quickly get out and then have the safety to grab the recovery gear from the side of the road and not be standing in oncoming traffic. The box on the driver's side, that holds my tools, if you will. So that has my tire repair kit, my patch kit, my glue tread, my jumper cables, all the things that if I need them, I'm going to want them super close and easy to get. And then that center case right now is empty, but in the summer months, that'll hold the awning walls for my 270-degree awning from OVS. So now let's head inside the cab. I've been a firm believer and user / customer of 67 Designs for the last 7 years. I had their JKE dock in my 2008 Wrangler before that got totaled, and as soon as I bought the Gladiator, it's the very first modification / upgrade I did, and it allows me to mount everything I need on the front dash. We've got the JKE dock, we've got a speaker for my Midland radio, because the radio's tucked away and my hearing is a little bad, just 15+ years of having to wear headphones at work. So speaker here directed at me, that's mounted to the dock. We have the Garmin InReach using their mounting system. So that has real-time GPS, which gets sent to the iPad, which lives here, which is mounted using the 67 Designs iPad or tablet holder, which obviously it's in red because it needs to be. We have a 67 Designs clamp phone mount for my mom or any passenger when they're in the vehicle. And then I just upgraded on this one. They were awesome and were able to give me a discount because I was featured in their rig/customer shout out. But this is their new MagSafe phone mount, which is awesome because that just holds my phone perfectly in place and charges it while I'm driving. It's awesome. Now, as we look up, we have the JCR overhead MOLLE panel. I've had this now 2 years and it's gone through a couple of different modifications, but what's super nice about it is that it allowed me to hard mount the Red Vision display using the American Adventure Labs mounting plate with ease. And a recent discovery, which I did an Instagram reel on, is that the Peak Design camera clips, which originally go on backpacks, work really well on the MOLLE panel. And so this holds my Aurora camera, my wildlife lens, which is a Tamron 150 to 600 millimeter, and then my video camera, which I'm currently using, which is an R8, sits right here. And it allows for quick, easy, one-handed removal of all of the items in case I need to quickly jump out and grab. It's been amazing and holds up really well on trails. These mounts don't go anywhere. And what's nice about the Peak Design mounts is that I can use them with my Ulanzi tripods that I've now had for 2 years. And I know I'm gonna get all the hate in the world for this statement, and I don't care. Lights before lockers. I drive a Jeep Gladiator. I had to outfit it with all the lights in the world because the headlights are absolutely terrible. So, as part of the overhaul we did with Total Truck and the Red Vision system, we now have 4 Nacho Grande Supremes on the front bumper. 2 of them are their Million Candela spot beams, and 2 of them are their 15-inch combos. The 2 in the middle are the spot beams. They'll throw a beam of light a mile down the road, straight and center. It is perfect. And then the 2 on the ends are their 15-inch combos, and so it's got a little bit of a flood in the center, but still throws out a massive amount of light, and that helps fill the sides. We're then running Nacho Quattro fogs, and those things are absolutely incredible. Not only do they work as fog lights, but all of these front lights are tied into my high beams. So when I hit my high beam, thanks to the Redarc Red Vision system, all of the lights come on, and then the Quattro lights also have a spot throw. So I then have 6 high-powered amber lights shooting straight out. And I know there's some back and forth debate on why amber, why not white? And I have astigmatism, which means anytime there's bright light at night, it basically looks like a giant star. And so the amber helps me see better. It is easier on my eyes, which is why I do amber. As we go to the back, we couldn't just handle lights on the front. One of the main concerns or complaints I got from Mike and a couple others the first winter I was here when we were driving down to Anchorage is that they couldn't see the back of the truck, which after thinking about it makes sense because in snowstorms and dust storms, this entire flat pack of the truck and the camper just gets completely covered and my taillights are, you can't see them. So in the install, we added 2 more Nacho Quattro lights up top. And so those are set as chase lights, but we've got 2 different settings. So I've got the chase light, which is a nice low power that cuts through, and then I've got a high beam that I actually use to reverse because the Gladiator reverse lights aren't that great. And then one of the coolest features that I didn't even know I wanted or needed is the addition of 8 rigid red rock lights. I'm not a huge fan of rock lights in general because I don't go rock crawling, I don't need them for that, but After seeing Kodiak with them last January, that exact same trip my truck died, it made me realize that the red rock lights really help your visibility at night, especially when I'm out capturing the aurora. And so we have 4 red rock lights on either side, which help illuminate camp so that I don't have to do a white or amber light to set up. And so my night vision is perfectly maintained.